Check, check, check. Check, check. 1 2 1 2. Bourbon. Yeah, I know it did because the microphone went muted again. See, what happens is I have a back and forth with the phone. So I got it mutes me, I unmute, it mutes me, I unmute, and my iPhone keeps battling it out with with my MacBook Pro. So there's a lesson. There's a lesson why you shouldn't link up your phone when they say, "Do you want to link?" Yeah, loud and clear now. We'll see how long that lasts because my internet's been wonky. Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why. It buffers for like 5 minutes and then it kind of kicks in and everything is okay. But we've had a lot of rain back the last week or so. Maybe it's the weather. I have no idea. Um, well, here's the problem though, Verb. Nobody is getting notifications for GMT's channel. So we don't get a robust audience and we don't get a panel. So that's the problem. But what I can do is drop a link because unfortunately there is no. Oh, see, I just dropped the wrong link. I'm going to delete that. Oh, there we go. There's people are flocking in. They are desperate for content. So they come here and we can fill that content. Hold on. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. If anyone wants to come on, is there anybody out there? I want to go up there, Post Malone. I never want to come down. I want to go up there. What happened to Post Malone, by the way? I know he's still around, but he doesn't seem like the same guy that he was when he first came out with his first album. So I dropped the link. We lost a viewer. Things are not going well. This is a show about nothing. The show goes on. I'm filling in, not on JJ's main channel. This is the satellite, unsanctioned rogue channel, Rogue One. Maybe I'll drop the link in JJ's group. Oh, cool. Yeah, let's see if we can get some people on here. I'm bored, and I was out before. Now I'm back, and I'll go camera on. I don't know if that'll help with viewership or not, but at least they'll know I'm here. Hold on. Now I like when I do there we go. What in the wild world of watches? What's up, Micah Taylor? Micah Tyler. Micah Tyler. Welcome aboard. This is the Rogue One channel. So JJ couldn't make it tonight, and this is the satellite. You know, where watch geeks go to die. This is what happens to you. I'm banished. I'm banished into the hellhole of watches. This is the abyss. This is the abyss. But oh wow, we're getting viewers here, man. Rock and roll, baby. Hop on the panel. This is open mic night. This is open stream. Anyone and everyone is welcome. If you are uncomfortable being on a panel with I don't know, other folks that are always on and kind of dominate the airwaves, here is your chance to break yourself in. You know, this is where superstars are born. You know, the next superstar could take off. Joe Rogan started somewhere. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. I'm wearing, I'll go back to full screen here. You know, this is the budget. This is the low budget channel too. We have nothing. GMT let all of the bells and whistles lapse. So I can't do banners, I think, or let's see. Can I do come and get it? Stay sexy. I don't even know. Let's put on come and get it. Let's see what happens. Oh, we got that. Wristwatch check. These are terrible. Oh my God. House of Lucky is that? Who set these things up? This one I like. Experience technical. Rolex fuckaroonies. There's an Archieverse term. AC3. Shout out to Archie, the OG. All right, we'll do this one. Don't send money now. So these are banners. What else do we got? Okay, upgrade the plan. I can't even put a logo on here. It's got a lot of logos. Can't do that. Let's try an overlay. Nope. Got to upgrade the plan. This is.
Come and get it! 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 You won't regret it in 2022 at Tip Top Snack Bar!
All right, so we have that going for us. And here's another oldie but goodie.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Shout out to the Wizard for that oldie but goodie, also known as the Magician. Also known as the Magician. Shout out to the Wizard. Wizard, turn yourself in and no one will get hurt. Do it now. Send back money now. Okay, I can't do a background either. So me with the Oris Bear is out. I had a nice Batman symbol. That's out. Wow. This is how dead the watch market is. I'm going to try to play some background music. Is that working? All right, I put it off. Oh, wait. Is this feeding the ducks? How about this? Okay, I don't like background music. I don't know if you guys do. I don't. Hold on, let me try more. Hold on. This one I hate the most. This is Into Space. This one's people use this one too, right? It's kind of relaxing. All right, out. All right, so what do I have to say? There is a story I did want to say to everybody who's watching. I appreciate your support. This is for entertainment only. Again, feel free to join the stream if you want to shoot the shit about anything. I don't care if it's watches. I don't care what it is. EDC, cars, how did your day go? Doesn't matter. Something you want to get off your chest. You have any any legal issues, not legal advice, but we could talk it through. Um, really anything. But I did have a watch Marvin Gaye. There are no leads, man. The leads are weak. Oh, you know what? I could pull that up. That's an oldie but goodie because we could play anything on this channel. That's what the beauty of it is. I can pull up anything on YouTube. It doesn't matter. So leads are weak. You want it, you got it. I'm gonna go find that. But I do have a little story that was, I don't know, somewhat eye-opening for me anyway. It was kind of a wake-up call, if you will, or uh, a reality check might be the right word. Um, about getting too deep into the hobby, and this is kind of contrary to what we do on the streams, which is all about the hobby and being enthusiasts and whatnot. But I'll share it with you guys. So 2 nights ago, I was home and I had on this bad boy, which I've been wearing every day for the most part. I think I took a break and I swapped it out for I forgot what I wore. Oh, I wore the sub because I actually had it next to each other, and they're so hard to distinguish that I picked up the sub and I wore the sub, which felt good. That was my OG sub, and I said, "Where's my Sea Dweller?" And the next day, this thing was back on my wrist. So I am loving this piece in the collection. But for whatever reason, because I had the booklet. So when I got that booklet that I shared with you guys, that had the card and or the calendar and the Bullman table and the tool, basically, AB, do I still have the Patek? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Absolutely, man. That Patek, that's the dress watch. That stays in the box, but it comes out if I'm wearing a suit or if I'm going to a formal event. I'm actually going to a wedding in a week. What is it? Next week or the week after? I have to go to Pennsylvania. Shout out to Luxury Bazaar. I have to go to Pennsylvania for a wedding, and I will have the Patek Philippe with the officer's case back, that 5227J in the yellow gold deployant clasp. I'm glad that they raised the price on that. Keep doing that, Patek. Go, go, go. Keep raising that price or discontinue the watch. Or both. I think that might be in the 40s now, which is pretty insane. Again, not to make money, but it's always good to have maybe a floor on that thing. But yeah, I really like the watch. It's simple, it's clean, checks the boxes for me. I know it has a date. I know it's automatic. I get it. But it's just clean. It's the dress watch. Never have to worry about it. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's elegant. Dauphine hands. Classic Patek, in my opinion. 39 mil. Perfect. Having said that, my Grail Patek, and I don't even know if I'd wear it, would be the perpetual calendar chronograph. And the older ones were 36 millimeter. I think the newer ones are closer to 39 millimeter, 38 and a half or 39. And I would love one of those. But if I got one of those, that would be very special. That would be almost a piece where I was watching Adam Menta, and he has a perpetual calendar chronograph because he doesn't really reveal too much on what's in his collection. But he did an interview with another YouTuber, and he revealed that I believe he got that piece that he wants to pass along to his children. And he keeps it basically under wraps and doesn't show anybody. So for me, I think that would be really cool if I got that piece but didn't tell anybody, right? You just have it. It's in the safe. That's the Grail or whatever it is. And you wear it. You pull it out on occasion, but you keep it in the safe deposit. It kind of stays there. No big reveal, but it's there because that piece, the 36 millimeters of those as well. And I think they came in all three metals. Yellow, rose, and white gold, I want to say. They came in all three metals. they're about 120 or 130,000 and rising and rising, right? So, is the money safe? Probably relatively speaking, I think you're okay. I mean, you own stocks, or I own stocks. I own gold. I own other assets. They go up, they go down. For the most part, they trend up. I think Patek is as safe as you can get, um, depending upon the watch and where you buy it. But I think collectors will always want something like a grand complication Patek. So now you said AB the 5270J. All right. Let me pull that up. Let's give you some watch content. But before we get into that, hold on. Just remember this.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
It's interesting. There's a loop button, and I could basically loop that the whole show. Anyhow, but I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to search the Patek 5270J, and let's see. I know they have the 5070 and then the 5170 and I think the 5072. Patek's always jumbling the numbers, man. It kills me. Oh, Grand Comp. So yeah, this is not the chrono. The JJ chrono. I think that's the 5172 with the stepped case that he had. That was the G. Oh, here we go to 5270. All right, okay, let's pull this up. This is what I'm talking about. Let me share my screen. Okay, I'm not doing that. See, I got to do everything here now. All right, I'll share the screen. Let's go. Here we go. Okay, so I can't see the chat because I only have one screen, so bear with me because I want to scroll through this Patek Philippe. So here's the perpetual calendar chrono. I just pulled up a random example from chrono, so I couldn't tell you. Oh, this is in their current catalog. It's a 2024 box papers. This listing in yellow gold, so it's the G. No, G is white gold. Sorry, I'm all jumbled up. It's the J. $127,000. So plus minus. I don't know if this is a good price. I would go low to high, but I like the box and papers. Very good condition. And here you have it. This is an absolutely gorgeous watch. There's absolutely no doubt about it. The only thing is, and I'm going to show you guys, see when I do this, people talk about the chin on this watch. I've heard them talk about the chin, which is this, right? So here is your date, your 31 days. It's got a nice moon phase there, and see how that cuts into the bottom of the watch. So they have Swiss made here. I tried to make it bigger, and look what happened. That happened. I liked it better the other way. Let me try to go back. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, when I do this, wow, this is tough because I'm moving all over the place here. SLC, welcome aboard, man. Don't send money now. That's an old little. That's send money now. I got to get rid of that. I'm multitasking here. I'm on my own. I am on my own. No, I can't get rid of that. Oh, I can. Hold on. Logos. I don't want to waste time doing that. All right, it's staying. So where were we? Patek. I'll get to that question, SLC, in 1 minute, what I'm looking at. So it has this chin, right, on this Patek. I'm getting comfortable with it. I know I don't think most people care. It just extends it a little bit into the bottom of the watch. The other one's cleaner. The older versions in 36 do not do this. But they went with the larger calendar, for lack of a better word. Look at those pushers. Beautiful. I've never held this piece in my hand. I assume that the chronograph action is very clean, very crisp. It's a strong case. I like the lugs. The hands are, what is that, leaf style hands, I want to say, or is that alpha? Alpha hands or leaf hands? Somebody knows in the chat. There's your well, here's your chrono. It's your chrono hand. Sunday, March, there's your date, there's the calendar, there's your leap year indicator right there. Someone tell me what that is. Right there, I don't know what that is. Maybe is that part of the leap year or something else? And here, since this is a chrono, you have 30 minutes here. And I want to say this is, if you got a 30-minute counter here, is that the seconds? Is that a small seconds or is that a 60-minute counter? I don't know. And then here is your tachometer scale. So there you go. I think this watch is gorgeous. Yeah, I think you buy this thing and you could put it away and your money's good. If you're worried about that, but you also have a beautiful watch. Oh, wait, I have people coming on. Hold on. Holy shit. Wow. Oh my God, this is huge. Marcelo.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I thought I had a problem with the volume. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I mean, it's rarely I see you streaming and Mr. GMT. So yeah, sure.
Yeah, how you been? Well, Mr. GMT, I basically took over his channel. I mean, he set up this channel and I have keys to it. And I just was in the mood to hit a stream. JJ took the night off. And this stream, what's cool about this stream is it's not monetized. So I could pull up clips from YouTube. I pull up, what's it called? Last time I pulled up a clip from a movie called Risky Business. It was Tom Cruise's breakout movie. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, but here is the thing. Even if the channel is not officially monetized, even if you put clips, just be careful not to make it too long, because there's still is a kind of a copyright policy from YouTube, and then they might still kind of strike the channel. Because the channel is not monetized, it's like not a big deal, but then Mr. GMT needs to open another one.
Well, he let this thing die anyway, because he doesn't pay for it anymore. So we don't have any perks and or anything like that. We can't play video. We can't play any like video content that he created. It's pretty stripped down. It's pretty bare bones. So yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Let me tell you what happened to me, basically. I mean, 2 days ago, it was on Thursday. Basically, I booked tennis for the whole month. I was basically playing all day. So I went to Ibiza. It's about 1 hour, 40 minutes with a bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm driving this Mama San bicycles.
Yeah.
Something got fucked up with the brakes.
Mm-hmm.
I fly over the bike.
Oh, shit.
I did a brake nothing, but as you heard, I was like, I mean, I got hit. It looked like a bully that actually punched you under your between the lungs and your heart, like punch you very hard, but didn't break nothing. But you feel this pain. So I feel that kind of pain and of scratches in the right side, like the hand, the leg.
Mm-hmm.
So basically I am with bruises, but nothing broken. And yeah, we decided to close the restaurant yesterday, today also to take a break.
Yeah.
Uh, Small painkillers just to hold the pain. You know what? Now I feel, I never really had a bully punching me. I still don't, but I think I can understand now.
Oh, what do you say? A bullet?
No, like
Oh, a
I
bully.
never got, yeah, I never got punched by a bully.
Right, right, right,
But if
right.
somebody tell me, I think I can understand now how it feels. Like oh, feel very, very high. You know what?
Well,
The funny part is when I drop, I didn't even felt I got punched, like hurt in the floor or something. Yeah, the
mm.
pain came after. Kind of weird.
Yeah, I think it happens, right? Where initially there's a little bit of a shock because you just flipped over on your bicycle. First of all,
Right.
I want to pull up Birminghard, whose
Mm.
show of support is greatly appreciated. Sorry to hear that, Marcelo. Hope you recover quickly.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is a small advantage for Captain because I promised that next year I might come and have a match. So if I'm not going to recover 100%, you still have a better chance.
Ah, that's good. That's good. No, listen, you've been playing a lot of tennis, and I've switched over to pickleball, man. I'm playing old man pickleball. I'm beating up on older ladies that play, but no, but I got to tell you, we're playing competitively as well. I mean, there's two guys that I play with or I played against. Both of them were linebackers and recent graduates of uh, a university here, actually Ivy League, University of Pennsylvania, UPenn. And these are big, but
Wow.
these are big boys, and they're athletic, man. They're all over the court, and I play with them. I could play against them if I have a good partner, and we're kind of holding our own. So I mean, pickleball, if you play it competitively, which we kind of do, it's in fun.
Yeah.
It's it's a workout, man. I was against it as
I,
a tennis player, but it's so there's 20, 30 people playing every day
yeah, look,
throughout the entire day.
I'm still against it because basically, I guess you probably see this in New York more than anywhere else that maybe some tennis courts get changed to pickleball courts
That's what happened.
because is cheaper to maintain, and basically for every tennis court you basically can put two pickleball courts inside. So
That's right. That's right. That's what
so
they did.
for me, emotionally is I feel bad about it because I also have like close to 20 tennis rackets and I play tennis a lot, and I feel like I'm going to need to put all my tennis rackets on sales. But and I
Hey,
don't even own a pickleball racket. I understood that this shirt is actually double the price of a normal tennis racket.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it because I bought somebody's paddle. Like I had some demo paddle, and I don't want to bore
Mm,
people on the chat because they're here for Watch Talk too, Marcelo.
yes, I
So
know, I know.
we
But
don't have
just to
a
say,
there's not a lot
it
of people watching, but
yeah, but I just wanted to say that if I buy a pickleball racket, basically I need only two. I don't need 5 or 10 because you don't break guts or something. So
no.
basically, two is, and the reason two is just because of the grip. I guess that one grip get dirty and sticky and old, and then you
Eh,
just flip to another racket, and
and
that's
then
it.
well, I just changed my grip too. I put a new grip on mine after a while, but it's same thing as tennis. You just put a new grip on it. Andre Agassi is big into pickle now, and
Yeah, I saw
he
Agassi, Roddick, I mean, everybody that
yeah,
retired
yeah,
from tennis.
I watched Roddick, and they were all freaking excellent. Of course, you're talking about Grand
Mm.
Slam champions. Pickleball is a joke to them. I mean, they would dominate pickleball. I mean, Andre's reflexes at the net, Roddick. I mean, it's their hand eye is amazing.
Agassi
Um,
do two-hand backhands or no?
yeah, it's weird. I know. It's kind of weird, but I mean, the guy wails on it though. The amount of power he can get on a pickleball, it's like boom.
Nice.
And the touch game, which is kind of going away a little bit now, they say, as
Mm,
pickleball is evolving. There's less kitchen, there's less dink and dunk.
right.
So I was playing that game a little bit. Now everyone's just smashing the shit out of that ball. But
So
it's a good work.
pickleball, yeah. So here's the thing, pickleball, you have this kitchen that everybody call, right? This part that you don't allow to step in. And then you have
Mhm.
the other game that really look like squash, that is the one that they play in Europe, I think is similar to pickleball. How they call it?
Padel or
Padel, yeah.
paddle? Yeah, padel.
Paddle,
Yep,
paddle, yeah, yeah.
yep, yep.
So how this work? They have paddle in the state as well. I mean, is
Well,
basically it's almost the same thing, right? I mean, the same
no,
racket, kind of.
yeah, I've never played padel, but I think you could play it off the
Mm,
fence, and I think
mm,
the ball is heavier. Um, it's probably in the middle between tennis and pickleball, but
right,
it's a different game. It's from, like you said, it's from Europe, South America. It's big in Miami. I think padel
right.
is in Miami, maybe making its way up, but pickleball is just so dominant right now that I mean,
Nice.
Padel could get somewhat popular, but if you're starting to hit things off the fence and shit like that, I think it's going to
Yeah,
become an Olympic sport too soon. Um, Padel, I think
yeah.
Padel has applied to be an Olympic sport.
Padel is really squash, because you
Yeah.
really play
All
with
right.
the walls, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Let
You're
me pull
hitting.
up. Let me pull up. We'll get to that, and I'm glad you're feeling well. I don't know what watch you were wearing when you took your spill.
Ah, wow, if I tell you, you're going to freak out. Actually, it was Delamon.
Holy shit. All right, so
Yeah.
SLC, we got to get to him if hopefully he's still watching.
Mommy was actually laughing. Till now, I'm looking into Delamon, and the truth is, no, he didn't get hurt because, of course, he's in the left side, and all my bruises and everything is in the right side.
Well, you got to protect the watch, man. That's where the value is,
I
forget
think,
about your body.
what?
Protect
I
the watch at all
think
costs.
here is the thing: when I drop, because I saw him dropping, because it wasn't that down, going down, and it was speedy, and when I break, and I saw I'm falling, I think consciously I dropped in purpose, kind on the right side because of the Lamont, I guess, or because any watch. I mean, I am, you have this mindset to protect your watch. Even if I would wear a swatch, probably I still would fall in the right side, you know?
Yeah, you probably would maybe, or even curl your wrist because
Yeah,
you might just out of instinct, not even knowing you're wearing a swatch.
exactly. Exactly.
But let me. So that kind of goes to what SLC is asking. How is life with the Le Mans? Is it good or just okay?
Well, I mean, is the watch is here. You see, I put it. Wait a second. Where is it? Not this one. This one here.
Hold
The
on,
watch is
let me
here.
make you full screen. Hold on. Um,
The
there we
watch
go.
is here, and what is funny, I'm going to pull it off. No, I put it on the wrong watch. Ah, shit! It's because I'm following the camera. Okay. What is funny, you see this part here?
Yes.
It have this kind of scratch that almost
Where?
looked like he hit the ceramic, but of course he didn't. But
Oh shit.
this is, yeah, you can call it shit. Yeah, you can see by the color a little bit maybe there's something.
I'm not seeing anything. If it is
It's on
there,
the 12
it's
o'clock. Supposed to be on the 12, on the,
okay.
oh,
The
sorry, on
12.
the 120
Oh,
on
on
the
the number.
bottom.
Um,
No, 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 in the bottom, in that metal thing
the
that hold it.
surround.
Yeah. But the thing is that I'm actually wearing now the Platona, and I believe that the Platona got much more abuse than the Lamon. The thing is that this kind of ring around the Lamon that they put
Hmm.
is not the best thing,
Yeah, but
It really get.
that may have protected the bezel from your fall. When you think about it, maybe that
Oh,
was
no, I was far away. The one didn't even get not even a small scratch, nothing. I mean, the one was perfect. Um, I don't know what would happen if I would hit the watch. I don't know, but I just say that on normal scratches, hitting. I don't know. Let's say You know, when you walk, sometimes your hand hit, let's say, a door lock or something, right? And things like that. This watch really get damaged, you know. It's actually funny to say that. Look, I bought it to wear and I bought it to own until I'm not going to own it no more. So my prediction was probably to try to keep it maybe for maybe an addition of 10 years from now. Um, I think I want to get rid of all my Rolex about 10 years from now. And this is probably the last one that go, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
And let me see the red. Can we focus it on the red text?
yes, of course.
Okay, there it is. That's the 100, right? 100 years of
The
Le Mans.
100. Yeah. I don't know
Beautiful.
if you know that is,
Very cool.
when you get the watch, you have in the box, um, you have these two green small books, right?
Hmm.
And one of them is the manual how to use the watch. So and I did a video unboxing of that. On the green book is the only book that actually write down the 100 in red.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you have the 100 in red,
Okay.
and when you open that little book, see, I don't have it with me here. It's actually in the bank. I actually put all the papers in the bank, but if you see that video, you're going to see it's actually you're going to see me getting excited because when you open the manual of this watch, they could put they do manual for Daytona. They could put any Daytona because it's the same thing. Doesn't matter that it's a 24 hours movement here. The same functions goes in all Daytonas, right?
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I
no,
like that. I like that. The 24-hour. I'm focusing on that.
yeah, but no, they actually put this Lamont, the 24 hours manual. I mean, all the function of this.
Very
So you
cool.
see
So
on
it's
the
a
book the
special.
24 hours. Yeah.
So it's a special manual for that watch, is what you're saying,
Yes.
right? It's
Yes.
specific,
Yes.
unique to that watch.
Yes.
I bet you that manual is. You could sell that in and of itself for what,
One
$1,000,
more, and
five
here is
thousand
the other bonus. One more bonus because,
bonus.
and this you cannot ignore it. You couldn't get any other option because this watch was bought here in Japan. The
Hmm.
watch came in Japan, right? For me. So that manual is in Japanese.
Okay, well that's good for a Japanese
Yeah, it's
audience,
good for
but
Japan. Yeah, but you know what? Here is the thing. Rolex don't have international manual. It doesn't goes in like Casios or something that you have like 5 language or 10 language. It goes one language only. You know that. You own your Rolex. You know that. You buy them in the States is in English.
yeah,
I guess you buy them in Italy, going to be in Italian. You buy that in France, going to be in French. So the ones that come to Japan, they come with the Japanese manual.
right,
And it's very cool because it's a part of you. Yes, you cannot understand shit, but the thing is, you don't need to. It's a
yeah.
part of your identity of the watch. You bought it in Tokyo in this Rolex boutique.
Hmm.
The watch is yours. The watch is come to Japan. Here is the Japanese manual. I mean everything can match.
Yeah, and Japan always has
Let
special
me open for
Japan
you. You're going
Japan
to see it.
has a lot of special editions from Omega too. So my Tokyo
Yeah.
Speedy was Japan only.
Yes, yes. You got the Tokyo. Temperature getting crazy. Wait a second.
I still have
Temperature, come
that.
here, relax.
I still have that. Let me so while you're doing that, there was
Because I
another.
want to show you the back, right? Everybody want to see the
Oh,
back
the
of the
open.
watch.
Yeah, well, we just lost a
Yeah.
bunch of viewers now. We're down to 3, and I think
So
two of them are us. So they came, they saw, and they dropped.
they don't want to see that. What happened? We're talking watches. It would be okay.
who knows these days, but no one knows about this channel anyway. So we dropped it in JJ's group, and a
Ah,
few
sure.
people joined. But this is not on any main channel, so it doesn't matter what we do. We could do anything. So Tiger Tail is here. He says hello. What's up, Tiger Tail? Welcome.
Hey, Tiger.
Do you know Tiger? I've
Yeah,
seen
I
his name in
remember.
the
I
chat.
saw. I saw his name. Yes, exactly. So I mean, when they release, this white Lamont makes sense. That's supposed to be the steel version of what was the original Lamont one. Um, the yellow gold one that they did also, even so that it was a delay of 1 year, it would be better to release it that 2023. But we can forgive because it is the we associate it like the new versions of uh, the John player, like
Yeah,
how you
the
call it,
John.
the
Yeah, John Player Special.
John player special, exactly. And that one match very much and it's beautiful. And I wish I would have it. I actually ordered, of course, I'm not going to get it. So that was amazing. What I don't understand is the pink one.
Oh, yeah, well, we talked about this on your stream, if you remember.
Yeah.
So two things. One on the
I think I predicted that one. Remember, I said they might release a pink one, then that would be such a mistake.
well, but we knew they were going to do it, right? Because
Yeah.
Rolex does what Rolex does, right? Come out with one,
Mm,
two, three, and they could sell them in very limited quantities. And then
right.
the real question is, do they do platinum?
I mean,
Do they do
you know
platinum?
what? Now I'm off of predicting because they might, even so that it would be weird because they already have a white metal, and the white metal is the white gold one. If they make a platinum and a steel one, like what Roman Sharf said, that's going to be, I mean, they're going to look, first of all, if they don't do no change at all, like they didn't do change in the yellow and the pink, so it's going to look identical to the white gold, just by the way, this is a platinum. By
They,
the way, this is a steel one. And that breaks everything. I don't think they're willing to go to that path that, it breaks everything.
yeah,
Today
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
can
I
look,
agree, man. I agree.
look, today
Listen,
today they
listen,
have the yeah.
Marcelo. You're used to streaming, so I get it. But I
Mm.
wanted to be able to have a dialogue.
Sure, sure. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
no, no worries. Just because I know you can riff for hours and hours.
Mm. Yeah.
You're used to hosting shows. You do streams for like what, 6, 7, 8 hours, right?
12.
At a stretch. Oh yeah, see, 12. Um, but anyway, so on that note, if they did a platinum, I'm thinking maybe they would do some like deviation of it. Now, if they
Exactly.
did,
Need to do something different.
yeah, now if they did it in steel, I think that would be a mistake because the
Mm.
specialness of the Le Mans, right, is it should be a precious metal watch. And what would you do with the Daytona? You have a steel Daytona. You have
Yes.
you also have yellow gold, rose gold. So I mean, yeah, they've done it with the regular Daytona. So if they wanted to sell watches, like let's put it this way, if Rolex ever got in trouble where sales of the Daytona were in the toilet, right, and they couldn't sell the regular Daytona, then they could come out with the steel Daytona. But I don't think that's in the plan. I don't think that's in their plans. But it's a better looking watch. Like the
Yeah.
movement, like when you look at the dial, it's
Yeah.
more.
Look, it was an idea that I think I talked about that. And tell me your opinion. What you think about this? For me, it did make sense. You remember when they did the GMT? GMT, since 1954, it was a GMT only. And then they released, I think it was in the 90s or something, they released the GMT Master 2, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they still continued doing the GMT. So they actually had two watches in the catalog. One that was a GMT, one that was the GMT Master 2. So
Oh, they had them both at the same
they
time.
had both of them. Now
Okay.
here is where I go. I mean, if I would be um, Rolex president or something, this is what I would do. I mean, because here is the thing: Rolex released this chronograph, uh, Rolex, that eventually came up to be Daytona, but actually was a Le Mans. They wanted to put it as a Le Mans. They just didn't get the sponsor of Le Mans, and their excuse was basically go to America when they actually, because in America they got the sponsors of Daytona, so that's why they call it the Daytona. You see? So then the
Uh,
watch
yeah.
transformed to the Daytona because they could be related to that competition. They could, and it worked wonders for them. It was great. They have Paul Newman. It was wonderful.
Hmm.
Now, the Le Mans is a 24 hours. It was that they did special. They call it Daytona Le Mans. What if you guys separate you guys' name from the Daytona and you guys make a completely new lineup called the Le Mans, and that all lineup have this new movement that work in this 24 hours movement, and make a whole lineup of Le Mans. So now we're going to have Sky Dweller, Deep Sea, Submariner, Daytona, and Le Mans. What do you think about that? It makes sense, right? Because think about even the sub, because the sub, and then they actually did a new lineup that is the Deep Sea,
They did the
right?
Sea Dweller, and I don't know if you
And the
saw
Sea
this,
Dweller.
but check this out. So let me put myself in the main
But it
screen.
makes sense, the captain. What do you think?
Look at this.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, this is my new latest pickup. I don't know if you saw it. The
Yeah,
Sea Dweller,
nice,
40 mil.
nice.
This is a 1998. 1998 holes
This is
case.
beautiful, man. This is amazing. And you know
Isn't
what?
this
Look what is funny about this
crazy?
watch. It looks very similar to a Sab.
Oh,
The
totally.
only difference, of course,
100%.
is you don't have a magnification on the date
No
because
Cyclops.
of no Cyclops because it's a deep sea. But
Yeah.
it's like, hey, why the fuck you guys make this watch? Stick only with the
Well,
sub. You guys need to do only the sub, right?
well,
So
the
that's why I
reason,
said.
well, I'll tell you the reason they made this watch, and they
Mm,
put on a Cyclops in the not the SD4K, but the 43,
mm,
because they
right,
figured out how to do it. They couldn't, the Cyclops, they didn't have a way to, when they
right.
first came out with this watch, it was in conjunction with C Lab, an organization called C Lab, and they may have been connected with the U.S. Navy, but I have to fact check that one.
But you know what is funny? I mean, not that I'm going to call Rolex bullshit, but if you buy a deep sea and let's say the Cyclops is good only for 100 meters, or sorry, 200
No.
meters, right?
Hmm.
And I put it's good for 4,000 meters.
Yeah.
What is the risk or chance that you might come back to my store and say, listen, I actually dived 2 kilometers and the Cyclops can pop off?
Well, then you would call them on their bullshit, but they said I when I read the research that I did, basically they didn't know
Mm,
how to do it, and then they figured out a way that it can go down 1,220 meters, 4,000 feet, with the Cyclops on there, and that's why they did it. I don't know. I think the Sea Dweller is better without a Cyclops. It's just true to
right,
the original one. So why stick a Cyclops? But then again, they put it on ceramic. So, you know,
right.
Rolex just keeps evolving, right? If they can make it in ceramic, this is aluminum bezel, right?
This is beautiful. By the way, this it's a beautiful watch
Tritium.
with
Thank you.
aluminum. I love it.
Well, you know who had this watch, and I didn't realize it until after I bought it? Your friend, your Japanese.
Austin. Oh, yeah, Austin brought it. Yeah.
I watched his videos after I bought the watch.
Look,
And
Austin is a
how crazy is that?
psychopath, I'm going to tell you, because
Oh,
for him to buy a watch like this, he probably was
that's so
checking the watch to the teeth. I mean, the
Oh
way
yeah.
that he probably I mean, if I would be the guy to sell him the watch, I probably would kill him and not even give him the watch. He's like, I mean, he's a psychopath. But you know what? Congratulations on him. He definitely
We don't.
got the best deep sea
Yeah,
in the market.
I don't want to disparage anybody, man. On you met him personally. I've been on streams.
No, I love the guy
Like,
to death. That was a hypothetical joke, right? But
I
yeah,
got
I
you.
mean, he definitely got the. He knows what he's doing. This what
He's a
what
pain
I
in the
used to
ass.
say.
He even said it when he sent it in for
Mm,
service. He was like, "Oh, I
yeah,
want to see. I want to make sure it's running +2 -2. I want to see all the
right.
records. I want this. I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
that.
yeah. That's like
I
I
want it in
said,
5 positions. I want it upside down." He's obsessive about it,
You
and
know what? You know what?
you know,
Even what I said,
that's
if I'm
fine.
thinking about buying a vintage Rolex, yeah, I mean, Austin is my man. I mean, there isn't nobody else that I trust beside Austin because he's a psychopath. He's like, I mean, he's going to definitely get exactly what I want, and it would
Right,
be
right, right,
perfect.
right. I would say psychopath's a little bit of a strong word, man. I would say
Mm,
he's an obsessive, kind of has
mm,
obsessive behavior, right? Maybe
right.
CD a little bit or a lot, obsessive compulsive behavior. Like
Mm.
he's very particular, right? But there's a
Yeah.
lot of there's a lot of us are the same way in terms of, we get really deep into the weeds with this stuff. So hold on, let me pull up. I want to pull up some comments and say hello to. Um, I'm going to go through some of the
Mm.
chat here. Land the Plane, Plutona or Le Mans. Uh, SLC had asked
Um,
what's my next watch. I don't know, man. There's a few. I just got this one, so I don't even want to think about the next one. But I have been looking at those
so, so
red,
you know what? I have a question.
the double red sea dwellers. Hold on,
Yeah, yeah.
before your question, let me just shout out to
Mm.
Duco, Captain Mike.
Yeah, Duco, nice.
Um, Burbing Hard says Marcelo for president, so he's trolling, obviously.
No, no, don't troll, don't troll. I'm actually want the position. Don't troll.
Oh no, you should be impeached. This is becoming the Burbing Hard. This watch is incredible. I mean, you know this. I'm really a big fan, and I'm wearing it daily. I don't see that change. I don't see me getting rid of it anytime soon. It could be permanent in the collection, but I'm looking at the double red too, by the way, Marcelo.
Ah, wow. This is
Yeah,
they are still expensive or the price a
they're
little bit?
no, they're expensive. The first, so that's the first iteration of the Sea Dweller, the 1665 double red. Um, and before they changed to all white text,
This is
about
they're
30,000.
amazing.
It's about
Look, they're
30,000.
amazing, but you really need to know how to buy them because
Yeah,
there is a lot of things that they change and they try to show as much original as possible. It's actually funny because now we're not talking about a God forbidden a fake part. We're talking about even legitimate part that doesn't match the ear that basically take out much of the value of the piece. And
I
that's
know.
why I told you. I mean, I go to Austin usually for that shit because he would confirm that the watch is nearly 100% or closest as possible to how the watch was when it came out. And if
Yep.
something actually did change, I mean, again, I would say, yeah, sure, get it, but at least get it fair for what was changed.
No, I know. It's
Like,
hard. It's a minefield. So I'll pull up the one that I saw on this website, Subdial. I don't know if you ever looked at Subdial. Um,
mm,
they're in the UK, but I'll pull that up in a minute. Uh, hold on to that thought. So let me get to SLC. He says he has the Swiss only.
mm,
He is the Swiss only. It's good with no Cyclops. So when he says Swiss only,
nice.
I think he's talking about the sub. Is he talking about the sub Swiss
Um,
only?
I,
No
I, I
Cyclops
mean, I am
or
not that.
Speed Dweller?
You know, people say that I'm expert in Rolex. I'm usually expert in the six-digit Rolex. I don't know
Well,
everything else that
yeah.
there was under.
So
Yeah.
here, okay, let me just try to answer this. But if he's still in the chat, and I don't know if he is, but there's a Swiss only sub. Okay, so SLC. All right, good. All right, so he clarified. He says he has he's got the C dweller with the Swiss only dial. So
Oh, wow.
SLC, you have my watch then. You have the 16600. I'm going to say you have the 16600. This is 1998, mine. Yours is probably
Nice.
2000 or 2001. And then they went to Swiss made after that within the 16600. So mine's tritium, by the way, Marcelo. This is a tritium dial.
Yes, this
No
is
loom.
the so you
No
don't
loom.
have a loom no more at all, or you have a little bit loom?
No, none. I mean, if you put a UV light
The
on, you'll
yeah.
see it, but it doesn't last at all. You take the UV off, no loom, and
I see.
the pip looms though. The that little pip, the little
Yes,
what do they
yes.
call that thing? The
This
little
is actually
chrome
amazing
chroma.
because a lot of times this is the first thing that actually pump off the watch.
I know. Well, so you were saying before, and you're absolutely correct. I'm not going to put 30 grand into a watch that I've
Mm.
never seen and I didn't have an expert go through it tooth and nail. But the watch looks beautiful, and I'm gonna show it to you.
Right.
But
But but I have a question. Let's say again, I don't know what is the markets today, but if I really go under the market, let's say 20 grand or even 18, and I tell you, listen, the watch you see it's beautiful, but the reason the price is that low comparing to what you know is because we changed the die, the sorry, the crystal, or we put a another aluminum bezel and so on. Would that still be attractive to you?
oh, that's a great question. That's a great question. And I'll
Mm.
tell you why, because my bezel
And I
has.
am fair to the price, right? Because I told you, hey, this is the damage that this is the change that it is, and I give you the fair price.
Listen, for that discount, right?
Mm,
If I'm getting a period correct, so it's a
mm.
Rolex crystal that I'm getting. It has to be a Rolex crystal,
Right.
right? It has to be a Rolex bezel. So the aluminum bezel
Mm.
insert has to be Rolex, and it's period. If it's period correct, um, then I would consider it because I mean you're talking a crystal. What's the big deal? And a bezel, if it's
You,
period correct, you
you know,
still have the period correct.
you came funny because you came specifically to the period correct. I just tell you, listen, I went to Rolex. I had a broken aluminum bezel, and I had a very bad scratch, um, crystal, and they change
So
it. So it's original Rolex, but this is what it is,
it's a
you know?
service bezel and a service crystal.
Yes,
And you know
exactly.
what? Okay, it'll be worth a little bit less. Obviously, if the bezel was original, it's going
Mm,
to be from 1960 or 1970.
right.
You know what I mean? Because I'll tell you why. My watch has a little bit of a little hairline scratch on the bezel, and I saw it when I bought it, and
Mm,
it was missing two links. So I had two additional links
mm,
sent to me, right? So those two links were sourced. They're Rolex links, but they're not from the original watch, right? Um, but the I kept the bezel because I wanted the original, but I have no
right.
problem with replacing the bezel. Now, Austin Daniels said
Mm.
that the 4 on the bezel had changed. So on the 40, so where it says 40, that 4 is different. It's not a fat 4. It's a
Ah,
fat
yeah,
4 on
he
the original.
probably knows. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think he
he's in
knows.
the
Yeah.
weeds. He's in the weeds, but he said you never want to get rid of your original bezel, and I agree with that. If you have an original, keep it, and if you
And
want
in
to put
case
a
they
new
give
one,
you, in
get
case they
another one.
give you, if they don't give you, if they say, hey, because it was a period of time that they actually used to basically crack it or break it. They used to take it and you kind of, yeah, fucked. It's like,
That's fucked up. You know, that's
Yeah.
screwed up, man. Hey, Marco, what's going on, man? What's up, homies?
Oh, nice.
Shout out to Marco Ferrante, Berdine's. This show is not sponsored by Berdine's. It's not sponsored by anybody. It's powered by StreamYard.
But you
Powered
see, this
by StreamYard.
look, this what is good when you have, for instance, Marco in the chat, because basically he's a great market dealer. He's dealing with these watches. He knows not what I was actually guessing. He definitely can tell you the real price of how much would be a watch like that with a replacement bezel, replacement dial, replacement whatever, right? He would know the prices, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah, he would, but he doesn't deal. You know, with Marco, he doesn't really get into the vintage stuff at all. He's not a vintage
Yeah.
guy right now. I mean, that could change, but he's not a vintage guy. So we lost all our viewers, Marcelo.
Sorry, I pressed the what?
I said we lost all of our viewers.
Nice.
We did it. We
Oof,
made it, man. We made it. Um,
oof.
but who cares? I'm gonna play this. Let's play this Rolex video.
All right.
In our perpetual pursuit of watchmaking excellence, we have found ourselves at the forefront of major breakthroughs, reaching the highest peaks and the uncharted depths, opening new horizons time and time again. This is who we are, and this is how we move forward, by breaking ground once more. We call it the Oyster Perpetual Land Dweller.
Like every Rolex watch, its movement is equipped with a state-of-the-art escapement. But this one presents an innovative design, crowned with 7 patent applications. This is the Dynapulse escapement. It has been specifically developed to enhance the watch's efficiency for a finer measurement of time and a smoother movement of the seconds hand. Made of silicon, the Dynapulse escapement is exceptionally lightweight. While maintaining the highest standards of robustness, it is also virtually insensitive to magnetic interference.
A new experience of motion, imagined for a modern world and those shaping it. As in every Rolex watch, you will also find one of our high-performance oscillators. This one, however, features a balance staff made of ceramic, resistant to the magnetic fields that encircle our lives. It is securely held by optimized Paraflex shock absorbers. It also houses a siloxy hairspring in silicon, which, together with the high-performance Dynapulse escapement, makes the heart of the Land Dweller beat at a high frequency of 5 Hz, all of which renders caliber 7135 incomparably precise and reliable.
Like every Rolex watch, the Land Dweller has been designed entirely in our workshops. It is associated with a total of 32 patent applications. 18 of them are exclusive to the model and result from 7 years of research and development. Its self-winding movement is fitted with a yellow-gold oscillating weight, one forever open to the world and built to keep pace with its constant changes.
Like every Rolex watch, the Land Dweller is as beautiful inside as it is out. The signature design of its bezel, though familiar, has been reimagined. Its dial features a honeycomb motif with stylized hexagonal cells, bearing sleek hands, luminescent hour markers, and open numerals. It tells the story of a new era. The product of years of ingenuity and dedication, all this is housed in an exclusive, remarkably slender oyster case, extending into a new flat Jubilee bracelet.
Like every Rolex watch, it is rooted in over a century of heritage. Echoing the models presented in 1969 and 1974, it features an integrated bracelet. Inspired by the brand's innovations and styles, it is perfectly crafted to embrace the present time. A watch poised for any occasion, any endeavor.
A groundbreaking watch, designed for those who are shaping the world of tomorrow. Here and now. And like every Rolex watch, it is unlike anything else. The Land Dweller.
Simply incredible. What a marketing job Rolex does. That's why they're the king, man. That's Marcelo. I want to get your thoughts, but before I do that, that's why they're the king. Rolex wears the crown. The king wears the crown, and the king is Rolex. We know it. That's why we all get along. Anyone who's a Rolex collector, I found that we have a common bond in this community. You know, all of us who love Rolex and have a multiple Rolex and are kind of intertwined with the brand, and we have other watches too. We all get along. Like there's that bond of Rolex. I've thinking about this, and I'm like, I tend to like people who like Rolex more than other people. That might be unfair or whatever it is, but we just have more in common, you know. I don't know. Look, we got Roger Federer. You and I play tennis.
Yes.
I mean, come on, Roger. How can you not love Roger Federer? I'm an Nadal guy. You're an Nadal guy. I think.
And by the way, today you have before was only Roger Federer, and I think was the team the Austrian player or something. But now you have both two in number ones, right? Is you have Alcaraz, is a Rolex guy. And Sinner is also a Rolex guy. So
right.
And there is one more that soon you're going to know his name very, very well. Is João Fonseca. He's a Brazilian kid. Now he's 18.
Oh wow!
He's definitely going to be on this top three guys, and he's also a Rolex guy.
That's what Rolex does, man. They see who's up and coming, and they lock them in. They lock them in. I like Omega and Tudor people too, but I'm just saying, like, the core is the appreciation for Rolex, and I think it's so. I mean, again, they market at golf tournaments and tennis tournaments, and kind of growing up. That's what I did, and Marcelo, maybe that's how you found your way into Rolex too. I don't know if when you were playing tennis in Brazil, right? You were playing at a
no, I did it. I actually started to play tennis in Israel when I was 12 years old.
Well, 12. That's still young.
And that time on by the way, on US Open board of the watches, and I think Australian Open that time as well used to be Rado. Rado was the watch that appeared.
Wow.
Yeah. Rolex probably was only Wimbledon, if I remember. I mean, I'm afraid to say maybe it wasn't Wimbledon in the past. I don't know. I mean, this I didn't follow that much, but definitely I remember the Rado watch on the U.S. Open and the French Open as well.
So what do you think about this land?
Look, but here's the thing. When you mention Rolex, because my side of my father is Moroccan, Rolex was a Moroccan brand. You know, it's like all my family had the Rolex, you know, on the side of my father. You know, that was the ones they had, right?
You said Morocco?
Morocco, yeah.
Wow. Holy shit.
Right? So it's like a Moroccan brand, right? I mean, everybody from Morocco have Rolex.
I don't know. I've never been to Morocco, but it seems like a pretty cool place to visit for sure.
No, I mean, look, my I saw a solid gold Submariner that my uncle got when he was like 20 something years old. He was a famous hair designer, hairdresser in Montreal, and that was kind of the watch that you wanted. You wanted
Yeah.
to wear this watch if to cut hair for the rich customers that he had.
Hmm.
Funny enough, he did a thought about AP, did a thought about Patek. Actually, later he became a watch collector and he did own a Patek and a AP, and we can talk about that later when I saw him in Miami in 2015. But back in the 80s was Rolex. And I remember that, the way that he was wearing that sub is the way that we laugh about people that don't know how to wear expensive watches. It's like it was all loose. You know what I'm talking about?
I,
Like the watch is all dancing in your hand.
I think, yeah, no, I know they wear it loose where it's almost coming off your wrist, like you could literally
Exactly,
drop it. It's
exactly.
jingly jangling around. I tend to
Yeah.
wear my watches a little bit tighter, but then
Mm,
I'm trying to like loosen it up. Like this one, I'm between like millimeters on the clasp. So I'll go back and
mm.
forth with it. But if it's gonna choke my wrist, if it leaves like a mark, I don't like it that tight because now I'm like, holy shit, you're
Yeah,
choking your
he
wrist.
looked like he stole the watch from Schwarzenegger, and he didn't even fix the links, and he just put it in the wrist. I
You
mean,
just threw
that's
it
the way
on.
the watch looked like. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. I know, but that was maybe the style back
Mm,
where they just wore it loose and it kind of rolled around your wrist, and
mm,
you could spin it. You know. Hold on, I'm gonna type as I'm doing this. I want to get your take on the land dweller that we're looking at.
yeah.
And
I actually
first,
have a
first
nickname for this watch. I actually call it the Datejust Master 2.
the Datejust Master 2. Okay, that's not
Well,
bad.
tell me
The
that I'm not
Datejust
wrong,
Explorer.
right?
I mean, I called it the Cosmopolitan, but that doesn't seem to be catching on. Um, because people were wondering. Watch Gringa said, "Oh, she did a video on it." I don't know. It was a weird video. She was mostly
Uh,
positive, and then had a couple
Look,
of
I mean, now
complaints.
now is the hottest thing to get, but you know what? I have a better question to you. What happened? And it's not if, like, oh, if Rolex going to make a pink submariner. It's not a if. It's actually a fact that's going to happen because we know it's going to happen. When this movement going to go to the Submariner and is going to go to the Explorer One, and maybe even with some tweaks, you can put that movement also in the GMTs and so on. What's going to happen then with this watch? You know?
Well. Okay. Before I get to that, as I'm
Mm,
as I'm typing,
mm.
I'm trying to find another thing to pull up. I'm going to show you this if it's still here. It is. Okay, we're in luck. All right. Okay. I think this watch is here to stay, man. I think that they're going to milk this thing for decades, and
No, this
it
watch is here to stay, but it's here to stay. Like I call it a Datejust Master 2. Like you have a Datejust 1, and then you have this version.
well, the people are saying it could replace the Datejust, but I don't think so. I don't think they'll phase the Datejust out. I think that they're still different. This is a higher price point. This is very limited, is my understanding. And they'll make this more of a special, maybe a VIP piece for people to aspire to and to buy the Datejust. You buy a Datejust, or maybe you buy a ladies Datejust. You buy a regular Datejust. Maybe you buy a 1908. Okay, then they'll give you this. Then you could buy this. I don't know. The question is with that escapement, right? Which is almost a natural escapement, the high beat,
Right.
whatever they call it, the Dynapulse. Pretty amazing engineering. Like they said, 7 years of R&D. Would that watch stand up to the robustness? Like, will it stand up to? Could it replace? What are they using in the sub now? The 30. What are they up?
They
31,
using
35.
a silicone hairspring, right? And they're
Yeah, yeah.
using all this They did some changes. I remember especially in the new Daytonas, that I
Yep.
think the escapement is more hollow or something. They did some improvements there in the movement.
It's not
I
as
think
robust though. I don't know, man. This is gonna have to be. Look at how delicate it looks.
well we're going to need to put this watch in. I guess look, I mean, they did it smart to put it on a kind of an elegant version that is basically a Datejust
Yes, yes.
watch, and usually you don't go diving or
No.
with a Datejust, but it would be interesting to see um, what happened with this movement later on. But the thing is, if you think about it now, all sport what Rolex are also kind of, you don't make extreme sports with a Daytona, or let's say call it with a platinum Daytona. You don't go extreme with with a deep sea, especially when they did that solid gold deep sea. So I don't know. The Rolex in general are already almost like a sport expired, but not really sport extreme to take the watch on the extreme. Even by the way, Federer and Alcaraz and all these guys, actually they put in the watch after they play the match. He's
Oh, all of them, of course. Yeah, no, of
yeah.
course. The only
So
watch that they wear is Nadal wore his Nadal Richard Mille, right?
yeah,
Everyone
eh,
else puts the watch on, all the golfers, all the tennis players. The Rolex comes out of the bag, out of the tennis bag, out of the golf bag. After
exactly.
they finish, they throw it on, they accept the trophy, they show the watch. But if they're playing golf, they're playing with no watch, they're playing with a quartz. Um, you know,
Yeah, like
they're not
I
playing with
mean,
this. But let me get to the water resistance of this watch, because you raised a good point. This is 100 meters. So even though I view this as dress or dress casual, it leans towards dress. It's in their classic lineup. It's 100 meters, not 50, not Patek 30, 100 meters. This is a
yeah, but also
swimmable
Cellini's
watch.
100. Also Cellini's a
Well,
100.
but a Cellini's on a leather
Yes,
strap.
of course.
But
So,
this watch is 100 meters. This is a swimmable watch.
yeah,
You
so
can
you see
swim with
somebody in
this
a
watch.
swimming pool with this watch. Yeah, I
What
do.
what well what do you think if they're in what are you thinking about if you see a person in this watch in a swimming pool? What's the first thought that comes to mind? No,
Um,
seriously, what would you think of that person
if I see a person wearing this watch,
in a
that
pool? So
now,
so
okay,
you're
you know
hanging
what?
out, you're hanging out by a pool in Japan. Some dude is wearing this watch, is in his bathing suit, takes off his shirt, whatever it is, dives in the pool.
Well,
What comes to your mind? I don't care
I
what it
mean,
is.
I mean,
What are you
in
thinking?
my mind, come first of all, just see him with the watch. I don't care basically what he do with the watch, if he actually do go swim with the watch or not. Just
Okay.
seeing him
Right.
wearing this watch,
Mm-hmm.
I already know he's a watch collector, or definitely he have a
Yeah. Yeah.
multiple Rolex with or in his collection. He's a person that I can reach to him and talk watches already. I mean, he
Right.
knows. If I'm wearing a Saab or
But
wearing
but
a, you
but
know
but
what, this a guy can
yeah,
even
yeah,
know
yeah, I
that I'm
got it.
wearing a Lamon. He can know.
But then
Other
when he
person going
jumps
to say a Daytona, he can know
when
it's a Lamon.
when you see him jumping in the pool, this is what I really want to know. Are you thinking douchebag? Are you thinking this guy's a baller? Like, are you thinking, look at this idiot jumping in the pool? What are you thinking when he gets in the pool?
To be
Anything?
honest with you, first thing that I think, I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you, you might laugh if I'm going to tell you this because
Go ahead.
first thing that I think is he got this watch for retail
Okay.
because he have the Rolex warranty with him.
Right,
He's
right. So
doing
he doesn't
something
give a
that I would
shit.
do.
Right, right, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
He's
He's,
got the
he's doing
watch.
something that I would do.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
I would For example, I would go dive with my now, for example, you're not going to see me dive with my Smurf because the watch already passed the warranty. It's already 7 years old watch.
Right.
But if I would be crazy enough to, let's say, I don't know why, and I don't even know why, what is the reason I even would buy this watch, but let's say I'm crazy to get the new Rolex Deep Sea, solid gold, yellow gold, the yellow gold one, and it's brand new, and I am under warranty. I definitely promise you, I would dive with that watch. I would go dive with that watch. And how crazy you think I am,
Which one?
or
Which one?
with the new Rolex solid gold Deep Sea.
Oh, I don't think you're crazy at all. In fact, on the
I would
Smurf,
dive with it. But the reason I would do it because it's brand new. I got it from retail and it's under my warranty.
I would tell you this. If I had a Smurf, and I know you have a Smurf, and if
Right.
let's say I serviced it at Rolex.
If I service the watch, I go dive. Yes.
Correct, exactly. If they told me they water tested it and they checked the seals and we replaced a gasket or a seal, because by the way, that Land Dweller, I also wanted to point out, it says it's a screw down. It says winding crown. It says screw down, twin lock.
Yeah, it's a water resistant.
Twin lock, double waterproof. You got it. Twin lock, double waterproofness system. I mean, that's pretty goddamn impressive, man. I'm sorry. Like, I've heard complaints about, the name Land Dweller. Get over it. You know what I mean? Get over it. I thought about like them not putting the name on, but Rolex puts their name, I want to say, on every watch they have. I could be wrong, but they name their watches, right?
Yeah, but Land Dweller, it sounds almost like they wanted this watch to be, like a field watch, like almost like to call it the Hamilton khaki field, like it's a field.
I know. Well, it's clearly not a field watch, man. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, it's
like, listen, we have Explorer one, we have a Diver one,
right?
We don't have a field watch.
I know, but they like to name things to kind of signify what the watch does, I guess. Like, Submariner, submarine, right? A Submariner, submarine, underwater, Sea Dweller, sea, underwater. You dwell in the sea.
Dweller is the sky. And also where GMT is a sky
very simple.
watch.
Yeah, GMT is the GMT function. GMT Master 1, GMT Master, GMT Master 2. They're very simple with their naming.
Okay, so what this watch represent? That you're walking with this watch in the planet Earth that is under gravity?
Pretty much. Like, so when they showed Roger walking in Central Park, he was walking. I mean, they could have called it something else, but it would have to be very simple. Now Gringa said City Dweller. No, I disagree, because you want to sell this to people who don't live in the city, right? So if you say city, you're eliminating urban, rural, suburban, exurban. All of these things are not the city. Look, so you can't do City Dweller.
You know what? The best.
Let me finish my riff. Even Cosmopolitan is like, not everybody is cosmopolitan, or they feel like they're worldly cosmopolitan, drinking a Cosmopolitan in Manhattan or in some other big city like London or Paris or whatever. So I love that name. Maybe it's not the right name, but are you not going to buy the watch because of the name?
Look,
that's what I want to know. Would you not buy it because it says Land Dweller on it?
No, I would buy it, but you know what? I like to ask people when see this watch, people that don't know much about watches. They know, for example, the name Rolex because every person in the street know Rolex, but they don't know specifically what it is. Now, when you don't know specifically what a watch is, they see a Submariner, even if you don't let them read the Submariner on the dial, they know, he have this bezel that is a diver watch. So this is a diver watch. Yes, congratulations. And this watch that have 3 buttons in, let's say, a Daytona, what watch is this? It's like, this is a watch to, is a timer to time stuff. Yeah, wonderful. So when they see this watch, they don't see this watch any different than a Datejust.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
then it's like, so this is the same as this one,
Mm-hmm.
kind of, So yeah, we call this Datejust too, So
Yeah.
this is the way I see it. Look, I understand the special about this watch in the mechanical movement part of it. By the way, the Chinese are going to have a heck of a hell of a time to try to even be close to imitate this. This is definitely going to be pretty much
Yeah.
um, a clone proof, I think, because it's going to be nearly impossible to clone this.
Hey, you know
Um,
what? You know what? You just brought up another point, and which I think is interesting in terms of cloning. So I know Rolex in particular is very protective of their
right.
brand and they don't like the counterfeiters, right? And they're trying to do everything in their power, and the whole watch industry feels like with all of the,
Yeah.
I guess, 3D printing and the counterfeiters getting so good, right?
Exa-
But let me
Look, you know what?
finish.
I give an example. I give an example. Did you see the Richard Mille fake ones, right? I mean, they is not even close to the real movement because,
Right, exactly,
eh,
exactly. So the point is, this
mm,
movement, if they put this
mm,
movement that they spent 7 years on R&D,
mm,
if they put this movement in their other watches, it would, like you said, make it very difficult, not impossible, but almost impossible to actually replicate
right.
this movement in all of their watches. So I don't know, was that part of their thinking? They got the 7 patent pending for this watch. It's got 13 patents or overall, I think 7 for the movement, whatever it is. You know how that almost natural escapement
No,
looks, that's really high-end
look,
manufacturing.
for Chinese to perfect, or how we say, almost perfect clone a movement like that, it will basically, it will take the whole fake watch out of the market, because it's going to be like, for example, I'm going to tell you, listen, Captain, the real one costs 12 grand. The one that come from China costs 10.
Well,
You know,
right. And by the
like,
way,
okay.
you know what they did with the crystals too, right?
Well,
So they have that hologram on the crystal,
mm,
which you can't see with the naked eye. You have to use a loupe, and then you could see like the hologram on the crystals.
right.
And they keep, I think, maybe changing and refining that. They probably
Yeah,
put
but
they
this is
probably put
easy
some of
to.
those things on the movement. They probably put some anti-counterfeiting things
Mm,
in on the movement, like where only they know it's there. Do you know what I mean? Like really
yeah,
high end
but
shit, really high end stuff.
this. You can basically the biggest problem in all this watch is that actually they did an open case back, so you can see the whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
So
true.
it's going to be, it's going to be easier for them to take this watch and put a clone Datejust movement with a display back. And of course, if you don't know nothing about Rolex watches, I guess this is the clones that going to be sell in China. It's going to be
Mhm.
this
All right.
Land Dweller with basically a clone. They just moving with a display bag. It makes sense. You know what I'm getting at? Like they
I
cannot
am, but
clone
I
this
don't.
movement.
Yeah, let's move on because we've spent 30
Right.
minutes on that watch, and I'm getting tired. It's late.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to show before I kill this stream is, so this was the double red sea dweller that I saw after I bought mine, and
Oh,
this
this is nice. All ghosted.
uh,
Nice.
ghosted bezel. This is
Nice.
30,000. I haven't seen no papers. It has the
Oh,
box. and it's from this website. This I guess they get watches from people trade in their watch or send them their watch, and then they put them up on this website, and you can either make an offer, like they put a price, and
Right.
you could start a trade. Now this watch, since I've been looking at it in the last 2 weeks, it's now reserved. Okay, so I don't think I was going to buy it because I have no way of taking a look at it. I mean, the website says that it's authenticity guaranteed. You see this?
Well, of course they do. I mean, I wouldn't expect them to say otherwise. But the thing is,
I know.
I wouldn't, you know what, seriously, Captain, and people might hate me for what they're going to say, but watches like that, you know, watches that already passed thousands of dollars, I wouldn't buy them if I don't touch them, see them, bring in my own loop, and examine the watch. Even bringing, of course, bringing somebody that is much more have knowledge about this kind of watches than
Right.
me, because I don't. But
Well,
this
you're
is what
not
I would
wrong.
do. I would bring Austin with me. You know, Austin come with me, and he's actually touching the watch. Not even me. He's actually checking the watch.
Yeah. And then
This is what I would do.
you'd have to open it up and see the movement too, because
Of course.
I mean, look at this goes, but just look at the looks of this watch. And I have to tell you, it's 23,500 pounds. And this company is in the UK. So I couldn't look at it if I wanted to, right? Unless I knew someone in the UK, they'd have to maybe go to the store wherever they're located and really pick this thing apart and tell you, yeah.
It's no. What's his name? We have Alex.
Oh, Alex would be, yeah, Alex would be good because he could tell you, is that bezel real? Like, is that bezel the original bezel?
Now, even Alex, if he doesn't really go there and touch the watch and see it, he wouldn't take the risk as well. I mean, he also, hey, I mean, what we see, not always what really appear. You know, you really
I
want to
know.
see it to touch the watch.
Yeah, these pictures, of course, are touched up, and these are the best version of this watch you're going to see. But I've never seen one with the creamy patina like this. This is an acrylic. I think it's an acrylic, even a bubble crystal. It's an
Wow.
acrylic crystal. Yeah. This is the first version of the Sea Dweller. The very, not the first, because it's 1974, and I think they made these for 3 or 4 years with the double red. But just look at this watch aesthetically, and you tell me if this is not a beautiful watch.
Look, I'm going to say, you know, I mean, and I, you know, I'm not even going to put the doubts that it might be fake, you know, even so that there is a chance of it. I'm even going to put that aside, and let's say it's 100% a legitimate Rolex. Still, there's a lot of things you want to know
Right.
about this watch, especially when it doesn't have papers. Maybe it was stolen 25 years ago, you know.
Could be.
Maybe you know, a lot of maybes that what the heck happened to that watch all that time regarding service, and did they
Right.
replace
Right.
parts and so on.
Yeah. Well, they probably did. I mean, I can't imagine a watch from 1974 that didn't have
Right.
replacement parts. That would be almost unheard of, right? I mean, that's like 40. How many years is that?
It's almost like 50 years. You want the whole history of this watch, man.
You're never gonna get the whole history. 50 years.
Yeah.
Come on. But you're right. For all those reasons, I'm glad, but I've never seen one like this. And I go to Chrono 24, and this price actually seems low, like 30,000. If this was really 100% legit, 30,000 is a good price for this watch, I think. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm not.
You know what? I also think there is a fair price for this watch, and my opinion would be. I mentioned before Marco, but Marco is in the state. In this case, I would mention, let's say, Alex. Alex did deal with watches, how we say, gray market prices watches. He's a friend of Spencer. You know, he knows the market.
Yeah.
He would definitely break the whole watch apart and probably say the wheel estimate how we say couple of grams up or couple of grams down regarding what the owner really want, but pretty much on the right track, not like I want 50 grams for this watch, like for example, it would really you remind me almost, when you want to sell an apartment, you bring these guys, could you evaluate the place, how
Yeah, let
much,
me inspect it. Let me
so,
inspect it. You bring in they do a house inspection.
yeah,
You
yeah,
could bring in an engineer if you're going to buy a house, and they find all sorts of problems. But
exactly. So
this
this
watch,
is this is what it is,
this watch is reserved. So somebody, maybe
Mm,
it is a dealer that looked at
mm,
this watch and asked all the right questions and actually touched it and felt it. And I don't know if they were allowed to open it. I don't know how this site really works. I know it's an online site, so people buy things on the internet. Nowadays they just click buy, and
mm,
someone looks at it and they think, "Oh my God, it's a double red sea dweller. It's 30,000. Oh, it's got an authenticity guaranteed. I'm buying it."
mm.
Right? And they take their chances, but it's a big risk because if it's fake, now you're out 30,000 or $25,000 or
Right.
whatever. You'll sell it for pennies. I don't know. I just think it's a very pretty watch. That's all. It's a good looking watch. Listen, I'm kind of fading here, and
Listen, before you go, and you didn't give me the answer. That's why before you go,
what's the
what do
question?
you think about that idea that I said that Rolex should make a whole lineup of Lamon, of course, without the 100 in red, just a new lineup called the Lamon that is 24 hours chronographs Daytona. This is the Lamon, and the 12 hours chronograph is the Daytona. What do you think about that? You think that would work? That would keep value? That be would hurt the Daytona? I mean, what do you think would be there?
Okay, so do I think it would sell? Yes, absolutely. It would definitely sell because to me the Le Mans have
Mm,
more history than the Daytona, right? Than
mm,
the sponsorship of the Daytona. I think Rolex involvement in the Le Mans goes back even further, and it's much more historic. You know, it's
mm,
it's it's better. It's a better history, a better story, and I like the watch better because the sub registers are aligned. I like the way they're spaced
yeah.
out. So I think aesthetically the watch looks better than a Daytona, and everyone's going to want the hot, the shiny new object. So I think it will cut into people will want that watch before they'll want that watch first, and then they'll look at the Daytona because,
Mm.
as you know, the Daytona before Paul Newman, before the Paul Newman auction, I don't think it was nearly
Ah,
as
it
hot.
was a dog. It was a dog. Nobody wanted that watch
Exactly.
because,
So,
but it was some good reasons why. Because it was probably, I think, the only Rolex in the catalog that it wasn't water resistant at all. Like,
well, look, it's got screw down pushers.
yeah,
What is that? Doesn't make any sense if you're in a race car.
Mm.
Yeah,
yeah,
if you're jumping in the water,
Mm.
it's great because you can have those sealed up so you can actually get
yeah.
water resistance, which
No,
is
this came
great.
later, but the first ones wasn't even didn't have even screw crown
Well, those are better. I would
thing.
get one of those. I would get one of those
Mm.
over the screw down because to me, it's just more pure. It's more true to what it is. It's a chronograph, man. You're in a car.
Yeah.
You want to press that chrono function and time your speed, and you don't have
Yeah,
time to unscrew the
but
top and the
here's
bottom.
the problem with that watch. For example, Omega, Patek, other brands always advertise, a specific model, let's say, to be water resistant. Rolex advertisement since the beginning is all our watches are water resistant.
Right, right.
By the way, we just create this chronograph watch. Sorry, this specific one is not water resistant at all, but the rest of our watches in the catalog are. So
Right.
it was already a damaged watch already on the release.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's only what the
Well,
water
and
is.
then on top of that, and I don't know if it
Yeah,
was before, it's probably before they had the screw down. It was entered, they submitted it to be in the NASA space program
right.
to be the watch that's going to go on the Apollo missions, and it lost. That watch in Longines lost to Omega. So it's not a cosmograph, whatever that is, because it's not in the sky. It didn't make it to space. So it didn't win that. So it's called the Cosmograph Daytona.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Look, maybe, it's going to be funny. What if there is a parallel universe, another universe that let's say we have a chance to go there,
Hey
and
Marcelo,
yeah,
we had 3 viewers. Now we're down to 2. We were
okay.
at no, but we were at 0. So we actually gained a few
Let-
viewers, man. I don't know. Speak.
So,
Where are they?
so,
Where are these
so,
viewers?
so listen. What if but one day by mistake we somehow pass the window, we go to this parallel universe, and we see the Rolex catalog, and the Daytona actually is the Speedmaster because they won the
Oh, okay.
movie.
Well, then
So what?
Omega's done. Omega doesn't exist as a
And
company.
maybe Omega is the Daytona. I don't know, But so what do you think about that universe?
I think I don't know when this was. Maybe it was the 90s when Omega actually was
Mm,
a more popular brand than Rolex. I think
mm,
there was a time where Omega may have been more popular than Rolex, or they were neck and
mm.
neck, and Rolex just surpassed Omega and never looked back. Um, so in that parallel universe, Omega, we could be sitting here being Omega fanboys. I don't know, but we're not. You know what I mean? And Omega is got the Speedmaster and a Seamaster and a few other watches. They have the Aquaterra that no one really cares too much about. Great watch, but I'm not.
Actually, funny. In back in the early 2000s, the Speedmaster, one of them was supposed to be a spo- a Formula One watch. It was actually sponsored by Schumacher. You know,
Well, if they had Formula
so
One, so what do you think about Rolex no longer sponsoring, being a sponsor of Formula One, and now it's LVMH and Tag Heuer? What do you think of that?
it's actually funny. They lost that, but they won the Le Mans. So now they are basically they got the one that they wanted so much for so many years, right? I think since 2000, I think they sponsored the Le Mans, right? And then they did the Le Mans anniversary. So for Rolex,
Mhm.
it's like, hey, we still have the Daytona, and we basically have the two things that are important to us: the Daytona and the Le Mans. So they have these two.
Did
So
they have Le Mans before 2000? Like, were they big a part of Le Mans? I don't know the Le Mans
no,
racing
no, they
history.
didn't. They didn't. And that, by the way, this is the reason of creation of the Daytona, because they didn't. I think maybe maybe I'm mistaken. I don't remember who had. Maybe it was Hoyer, or maybe other company, but it wasn't Rolex,
Mhm.
and Rolex didn't have that, and Rolex wanted, and I guess they had a problem with this Cosmograph Rolex that they have, so they probably tried to make it the Speedmaster, didn't work out.
Mhm.
So the second chance that work out is they discovered that there's a competition called the Daytona Beach, Daytona Racing, that is very similar to Le Mans. It's also a 24 hours competition. And they went to it, I guess, and they got it. Probably the Americans that time said, "Who the fuck want to sponsor this shit?" Hey, go ahead, take it. And the rest is history, of course, after Paul Newman, right? So, it's funny to say that. Imagine, like I said, in that parallel universe, Rolex is the Speedmaster,
Yeah.
and the Daytona probably is the Omega, and actually Paul Newman actually wearing the Omega Daytona. You know, think about it. So it will change everything. You know.
Yeah, it would, but we're not in that universe,
Yeah,
though, man. We're in this universe. So let's
yeah. But it's
let's
crazy if you
deal with
think
what
about it, that would change everything. You know.
let's deal with the facts that we have. I don't want to start thinking about parallel universes, but yeah, that you're right. The Daytona was a 24-hour race. I just recall
Mm,
the Daytona 500
mm,
growing up, that was basically a 500-mile race around the Daytona
right.
Speedway, which is
Mm,
in Daytona,
mm,
Florida. And so I'm not sure. I
right.
don't know much about the
Mm.
Daytona, this 24 hours of Daytona.
Yeah,
I
you know
just
what?
don't know anything about it.
Something that I don't understand, and of course, I am not a watchmaker. Too bad we don't have Alex or other watchmakers around here, but I believe already that time they did the perpetual calendar movements, and they did the all kind of ridiculous, crazy things in the watches, right? To
Yeah.
to to change a chronograph movement, basically what they did with the Lamont is just addition of several gears. It's not that complicated to make it 24 hours chronograph instead of a 12.
It's a
When
better,
you're ready,
yeah, it's a better watch at it. I don't want to
so what?
spend the whole show
Why they
talking
never
about the
did
Le
it? You
Mans.
know, this what I say. Why they never did it already that time? Let's say, oh, by the way, yeah, we sponsor now the Daytona 24.
Right.
By the way, we create a special watch for that. Is a 24 hours chronograph.
Mm.
Why they never did it? I don't understand.
I don't know, but now they're doing, look, they put out these watches.
Mm,
We'll see if they put them out in steel. Maybe it'll be in our lifetime. Maybe it won't. I think it's a nice looking
right.
watch. Let's move on. Um, there's other watches. The Blank Pawn, and I was going to end the stream, but one more thing.
I saw
Here,
this watch. They
here's a
wanted to
new.
sell it to me. Yeah, I saw. They wanted to sell it to me. Now it's not hot at all. You can get it very fast. She wanted to sell it to me, but yeah,
Well,
no, is
this one just
but
came out. This one just came out for the summer. It was released
mm,
3 days ago. It's a new version. It's called the
so I saw the
50
one. I see.
Green
I saw.
Abyss. So it's green.
Oh
It's the
wow.
Green Abyss. So they have a
I see.
green dial,
Ah,
black bezel, and they have this moisture indicator here. So if
indicator.
water,
Yeah,
yeah,
yes,
if
yes.
water enters into the watch, um, I'm trying to make it even bigger. Here we
You
go.
know what? This watch today, you can get it. It's actually
Oh
funny
yeah,
because it didn't be, it's not hot no more like it was before. I don't know. I mean, is
I have two of these.
I mean, I would maybe I would buy it. Now, for me, it's like in with Japanese yen, it would be probably $700 because the yen is that low. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
mean
like
this watch. Look, it's got that bioceramic case. People
mm,
knock it. It's got that what do they call it?
mm,
Nudibranch,
yeah. It
whatever
doesn't have a
that
date. This
means.
is what I like about this watch. They took the date out.
Oh, this one, you're right. You're right. This is
Yeah,
clean,
but
clean.
people that know this movement, um, because it's
Yeah.
such a cheap watch, they don't change nothing in
No.
the movement. So this watch actually does have a ghost date. So you have
Oh, I got
the
you. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
This is a System 51. So in other words,
yes,
you can. Well, one of my Blanc Ponce watches has a date. So
mm,
they some of
mm,
the models they put the date on, and then the
mm,
others they use the same movement, the System 51, and they
yes,
don't. Which I understand that if the movement breaks, you have to throw the watch out. That's my understanding. Is that you
yeah,
cannot fix the movement. Um, and I guess you could replace the entire movement, but most likely they would just, because this is bioceramic, i.e.,
mm,
plastic, you would just throw it out. And if I don't know if
right.
warranty, if you had a warranty, which you do, say you have a 1 year warranty, and let's say you play tennis with this watch and you destroy the movement, and you take it back to Swatch and you say, I don't know what happened, the movement stopped. They'll give you a new one.
Yeah, they would look. I mean, the thing is, this watch is so uh, cheap to make and to do. So I don't know why. I might be wrong, but I think that if you have this watch that you bought maybe 2 years ago or something, and you go to them and something broke or whatever, they probably sell you another one on a big discount. Kind of they call it service style.
Mhm.
I have this kind of feeling. I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong in my feeling, but um, it's
But if you go to, so you know how
mm,
on the streams we talk
mm,
about crime in London and running
right.
rampant and you get your arm cut off. If you go, let's say you go to Mexico and you're in
Mm,
a dangerous part of Mexico on the beach, but there's cartel there.
right.
You can wear this watch. I have one. I went to Jamaica.
Look,
I
I mean,
brought a Rolex and I brought this, not this
so
one
so I'm going
because
to so
this
I'm going
just
to
came
ask
out.
another question. Why
Yeah.
you don't wait? I mean, of course you don't own a Nadal RM, but why you don't wear that one? Because that one, comparing to this one, for somebody that don't know shit about watches and suddenly figure out somebody tell them, hey, by the way, this is a plastic RM watch, you should steal it, is valuable. And then you say, okay, got it. And then he see you with this watch, he might say, ah, wow, maybe this is also a valuable plastic watch. Fuck it, I'm going to chop your hand to take this as well. Makes sense, right?
Well, most people like now, I think Richard Mille
Mm,
has become so popular that
mm,
even the criminals, if
mm,
they, because if they're very,
mm,
let's say they're criminals that make a lot of money, they may actually know what a Richard Mille is,
mm,
but I don't have that kind of money anyway. But I'm saying that rather than wearing a
mm,
Rolex, right? If you're going on a beach
mm.
vacation, you can wear this watch because it's got, I think, 200 meters of water resistance.
And you know what? You're
You know,
thinking nice when you mention the Rolex, because we know that even in Mexico, a city, they have a very nice counterfeit market selling, for I think $500 or $1,000. You're getting very almost legitimate look like Rolex pieces. You know what I'm talking about, right? That's
mhm.
very nice sabs, very nice Daytonas, and so on. Uh, Basically, what you're saying is also risky to buy a fake Daytona in Mexico and wear the watch, because they might think that it might be legitimate and still chop your hand and rob you, right?
Mhm.
No, it is what I think, or they might think already, because they have so many tourists that probably are not into watches and probably buy a bunch of Sabs, a bunch of Daytonas, and they probably wearing the watch. And maybe the thieves are already confused. It's like, hey, I see this. Until I don't see a legitimate gold piece, maybe I'm not going to bother to rob you, because I don't even know if it's legitimate or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So this is a little bit thick. Uh, 14 point.
Mm.
That's really not that thick. 14.4 millimeters, 42 millimeter diameter. It's got loom, 91 meters water resistance. So I was
Yeah,
wrong.
I have
Not
the yellow
200.
one.
Yeah,
I like the watch. I mean, it's very toy-like. It's
90 hours power reserve. That's a beefy
yeah.
power
This is.
reserve, huh?
I never really measure so much the power reserve of these watches, because I mean, I think I wear it maybe once or twice. Uh, Here we go. I'm going to show you. I still have it here with me. It's an unsellable watch. This watch going to stay for life. I mean, you cannot sell this shit. You see, I still have the yellow one. You see?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Look, it's mint.
Yeah, no, you can't sell any of these. I have the blue one, and I got the Ocean of Storms. So
Yeah, they are
I
mint.
got the
Look,
black one.
condition
Yeah.
is mint. Look, it's mint. Not even a scratch.
You know what? You could probably get $200 for that. Seriously, if you never wore that watch, and there's people who
No, I
They get
did
a new
wear
one
it,
for
but the thing is that my wear style in this watch is it keeps the watch still on mint condition. I mean, you don't have a single scratch. The whole strap is clean as fuck. I mean, the watch is nearly mint condition. It looked like I bought it yesterday.
It's beautiful. I mean, look, for me, I would get a new
Mm.
one because then I know that, let's say Marcelo, if I knew who you were and you're bashing tennis balls with that watch, I would say, hey, that movement could be fiked, or that might blow, that might go at any minute, man, because you were wailing on tennis balls with it, you know.
Yeah, you know, I go to the tennis with the Lamont, Platona, all the watches that you want. Is always I stick the watch. They have a closet safe, or I put it
Yeah,
in the bag in case the bag is next to me.
yeah,
I the reason is, and actually it's funny. The reason I don't wear the watches to play with is also one of the reasons that you mentioned is because of the power, and I guess I would wonder if the watch would resist the let's say the shocks. But if the watches are like I told you, like this, the guy that swim with the watch, if the watch is under warranty, I wouldn't give a shit. But in that case, so then people ask, so why you don't do it? Is because I cannot. My backing is two hands. I cannot play backing wearing a Lamor, a solid white gold watch, or God forbidden a Platona. That the reason I say God forbidden is not because the watch movement would break, is my hand would, my arm would come out of his place. You know,
yeah.
it's
I got you. So we
impossible to
have
do that.
So we have four people, I don't know, theoretically watching, but they're not engaged or they're
Mm,
not chatting, and I'm
yeah.
tired. So I'm gonna have to end the stream.
Mm.
Marcelo, thank you for joining. Greatly appreciated. We had some good watch talk, good Rolex talk, and Blancpain and Land Dweller, Daytona. A lot of content in this episode, and maybe some people will watch it on the replay. But anyway, I'm going to hold on.
This is a beautiful watch, Captain.
Where you
Here,
watch
I'm
it?
going to put
Yeah, there you
the
go.
for Mr.
Meteorite
GMT. I
bezel.
have to put the Superman watch, the GMT watch.
Superman. There it is. That's a Superman watch. Gorgeous meteorite GMT Master 2 with the white gold Pepsi bezel. Look at that. Look at that loom. Look at that meteorite dial. That looks like a really good slice with a lot of
Yeah,
striations,
it's when people talk about it, I say,
lines.
yeah, I got a very nice meteor dial slice. It's wonderful, but it wasn't like I had a choice.
No,
It's
no,
like,
no. Yeah, yeah. I say that all the time. Hey, that watch is now available at or under retail. People can
Mm.
buy it. So skip the wait list, find a
Look, if
trusted dealer and buy one. If you
You
like the
know, I,
watch,
I
buy
tell
it.
everybody, if they watch it, like you said, even on gray market, very close to retail or even under retail,
They
just
are.
go take it because this watch, I still believe is going to be very, very valuable because you have a meteor dial stone that is not so much available
Hmm.
now. Is a
No,
watch
it's
that
special. Special.
Yes, I was supposed to be discontinued 5 years ago. I still don't get it why it wasn't even discontinued this year.
They
But
gotta get it. One of these days, one of these years, that watch will be
mm,
discontinued, and
yeah, and you know what?
the
Always
value will go up. The
the
value will
value
go.
will go up very much after the revelation of how many pieces of this meteor dial Daytona they actually
Yeah,
did. Now we
yeah,
saw from the sub, for example, the Smurf. They actually did in a 12 year, the Smurf was running for 12 years. For 12 years, since 2008 to 2020,
yeah.
they did 11,000. Now, this watch is running from,
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah, so because of the stone, I don't think they have that many pieces, you know?
I agree, but I just said goodnight to everyone. So we're almost
Sure.
approaching 2 hours. 9 seconds left, Marcelo.
No problem.
I'm gonna run the outro. Thanks for joining. Come and get it.
Come and get it! 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 You won't regret it in 2022 at Tip Top Snack Bar!
Wow, you can really dance. Wow, you can really dance. He went. They said we've both been dancing all this time. What a coincidence.
Hey, Captain, you still live?